they are completely candid. I think that's the smartest thing they could have done. And it
Why?
because they both I think their people both knew there was saturation. People were getting sick of it. It was like, enough already, you know? And I think to me, it proves that it's a real relationship. They had basically a year and a half of constant coverage. You could not get away from it if you tried. And I kind of love the fact that for them, they are now living a private life and having a private conversation. The one thing I do have to say is there was a picture that came out where Travis was changing his shirt, and he calls himself his nickname is the Big Yeti, but he was changing his shirt and he had, like, massive back hair.
I
So that's
saw that.
that's like, oh, so Taylor doesn't mind back hair? I don't know, that there's something about that that just made me but that's just me.
I wasn't such a fan of it
And so, like, ooh
myself.
yeah, and so but, like, now you and I were chatting, if he waxes it, he's gonna get made fun of.
Yeah.
But I guess Taylor likes running her hands through back hair. I don't know.
And you
But
don't think that they were hiding out because they just don't want to deal with Blake or Ryan or
I
that
I
whole.
think that is all part of it. I think they are actively sh actively making sure that they are not in the public eye.
I don't know why Taylor Swift would ever want to go out to eat. Like, it's got to be like, I know you're surrounded by people and you're roped off and we're at the restaurant, but it's got to be exhausting just for a night out.
But you just wanna also, sometimes you just
Be
wanna be
normal.
normal. You
I
wanna be
get
able
it.
to go out, and I really think whoever decided, or if they decided that it was time to go under, brilliant, and I hope it puts a lot of, rumors to rest that it was a manufactured relationship. And I think she's taking a break, he's just starting to get ready for the next season. She probably, because she is so prolific, is writing music. She's always writing. I mean, she wrote an entire album while she was on tour, and I think the Blake Ryan Justin thing has driven them underground. Like, we want 0 to do with this, because this is
Yeah.
really getting even uglier, and Ryan's now been drug into it that people are coming out and saying he's not such a nice guy.
They are. And, her team had to make that statement that, like, Taylor's had nothing to do with this movie. They've used a song of hers, period, the end.
And I
What
don't
is all this
think
about?
any friend wants to hear that you use their friendship to leverage a situation.
No, because that's the whole world, right? Like everyone Taylor beats or any famous person, but certainly Taylor, you just assume you're using me for because I have a gazillion trillion dollars or just uber fame. So I imagine you are on guard all the time about this is why ultra celebrities only hang out with similar. I get it, right? Because you just
Yeah.
assume that most everyone else wants something from you. That's got to be absolutely exhausting.
Or people from your way past.
They come out of the woodwork.
Yeah. And I think that there really was a deep friendship there. And it's going to be very interesting if Blake and Taylor can repair their friendship.
I'm not so sure.
Oh, this is,
I'm
and
being a
we're not
little
going to see,
pessimistic.
yeah, we're not going to see them together until this whole lawsuit blows over.
Completely. Like
Me,
that is the one thing I love. Taylor is almost like her team is like Kris Jenner level. Like she don't play around, right? Because there's so much to lose, even if the friendship is okay. Right. I agree. She's not going to be seen with her until this is over. Like she's not going to risk it.
no, there's no way. I mean, Taylor's team is brilliant. Um, I want to jump ahead because we are going to get to Diddy. You brought up Kris Jenner level, who I think is the smartest woman alive. Kylie and Timothée Chalamet finally made a red carpet appearance after a year and a half. Now, I don't know if Kris was part of this master plan, or that Kylie said, "This is my life. This is what I'm doing. I'm in love with them. It's a legitimate, real, we are in love with, each other relationship," and Kris had to sort of step back as a mom and let it be. Or it's been this giant master plan, which Kris has been known to do.
Shockingly, I think, I mean, me pessimistic, like nobody's belief. I think this is the latter, where Kylie, I think this is a real relationship. I think Kris Jenner is the most brilliant woman alive. I agree, Kathy Hilton and Kris Jenner. I mean, I would take advice from either of them. I think they're really in love. And like, look, Timothy's really serious. Like, he's at award shows and in interviews, he says, like, I want to be one of the greats. Like, this is great. Love all this praise for Dylan. Like, I got a lot of work to do. Like, he's a serious actor. So, I mean, I think they've discussed it. Like, he's not on her social media with her 300 something thousand followers, 300 million followers. Can you even imagine that? He has 19 million. Like, he is just like, that is your work. I understand you need to take selfies 24/7 because that's how you make your money. And I think it's a real relationship. And they specifically, like, if he walks for a movie on the red carpet and he's with Kylie, let's face it, she will just get more attention, period. And it will take away from what he is there. And I think she's fine with that. I think she's like, yeah, this is your job. I don't want to take away from that. So I think it was very strategic not to be, and they're still not on each other's Instagrams, but not to do a carpet together.
Well, and even, like, at the Oscars, she went in the back. It's not like they didn't do it
Yeah.
together. Kylie is just flat out not doing the carpets.
Yep.
Like, it was a
Right.
big deal when they were seen together at the Knicks game.
Yes, yes, and yes. Like, that was a big deal. Kendall was there, but I think she just doesn't even want to walk the carpet solo. It will just take away from his night, his moment. And I think I think it's agreeable. I think it's like, that's why I think it's a real relationship. I think she doesn't need to do that. I mean, look, she seems like they seem really in love to me.
Because they're so private, where most Kardashian relationships are very loud, for lack
Very
of a better,
loud.
they're very loud, they're very out there, you know, Travis and Courtney just, like, sucking face on the red carpet. I mean, they've always been very out there and open. Remember, she was even open with the Pete Davidson relationship, and this one, literally, no one discusses.
No one discusses. I think it's real. I mean, you see, like, when they capture pictures of them, like they were at the US Open or whatever, like the way that she looks at him and he looks at her, I think it's real, which I kind of I like them the way you like Travis and Taylor. I'm just kind of obsessed with the two of them.
Yeah, and I think it's great, and Kim, all sorts of Kim news.
Kim as well. Kim has now, she's not sat for the bar, but she has quote unquote graduated law school, even though she didn't go to law school. It took 6 years, her working hour study equivalent, and they had a ceremony for her, I think in someone's backyard. And she gave a speech. She got a lot of heat for this just because of like, but you put in the time. I mean, you go to law school, it's 3 years. This took 6 years.
Well, and there is something called reading the law, which means
Yes.
if you hit certain markers and work for 6 years and hit all the markers, it is considered the equivalent of law school, but you don't have, like, the fancy degree on your wall, but you still gotta sit for the bar, and what, it took her 4 times to pass the baby bar? Do we think she's actually gonna take the bar? Because you have to be a lawyer, you have to pass the bar.
Well, I
Otherwise,
did
you're just
pass the
a
bar, and it ain't.
otherwise, you're just a law school graduate.
You're just a law school graduate. I was gonna say, like, I have the fancy degree on my wall, and that, and like $2 will get me a cup of coffee on the street of New York.
But
So
you took the bar, which I didn't know, and passed the bar.
I did, but I sat there every day in a library for the entire summer. I mean, when you take the bar, it's like the whole law school. It ends on a Thursday or whatever.